What is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckheischer here. And we start every show with today's rant. And it is going to be no different because NFL and the people in general have released their 2024 NFL mock draft. Do you guys remember just a couple weeks ago when you guys were giving me the bee's knees? You guys were going all in on me because, I was predicting stuff too early. I was doing this too early. I was doing that too early. Yada, yada, yada. Well, guess what? Is the NFL mock draft a little too early? These guys have teams selecting said players, predicting retirements, predicting this, predicting that. Like, are we serious right now? Are we serious? Let's go. Let's go. I forgot to do that. My bad, Facebook. Let's go, baby. Oh, man. Come on, go live, baby. Go live for big old Bucknuts. But come on. Is it too early to be posting the mock drafts? Well, I don't know what's going on here. If you're on Facebook, my bad. I apologize. Sometimes you try to do fancy stuff and it doesn't work. It is what it is. I think I'm live. Shit, I don't know. If we're live on Facebook, guys, let me know. I'm curious. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that while I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the list sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the court. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA. We the big spark, no 4th and inches won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckheischer here with the Man Hour. Heard of manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page or check out the blog section as well. We are working on getting some new blogs out there today. I've been typing on the old interwebs, getting my ducks in a line, and we are hopefully going to give you guys some new blogs coming up very, very soon here. It is If and Then Wednesday, so that means we're going to give you if statement, and we're going to follow up with a little bit of then. I know we were going to talk about the AFC top players. I know we were going to give you guys the best quarterback, the best running back, or the receiver, core receiver, coaches in general. But Hoffy's like, Buck, I'm scared. I am scared and I need more days of preparation. Buck, I am scared that you are going to make me feel silly thinking that Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the AFC. Buck, I am scared that you are going to tell me that Travis Kelce is the best tight end in the AFC, and I just need more time to prepare. So, Hoffy, I'm giving you an extra day to prepare. Get your ducks in a line, figure it out, because everybody knows who the best quarterback is. Everybody knows who the best receiver is. Everybody knows who the best damn running back is in the AFC. So, Hoffy, I'll give you an extra day for tomorrow to prepare, but you better come with that fire, my man, because Buck doesn't miss. Understand that, man. But, guys, it is If and Then Wednesday here. Like I said, we are going to talk a little DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf says it is time the Seahawks to do what they do. DeShawn Watson and Amari Cooper is getting tight. Hendon Hooker on pace to come to training camp. Okay, slow it down, baby. Saquon Barkley says there is no long-term deal imminent. Working. But guys, this first, it is time for a little bit of new news. But if you haven't liked, comment, or subscribed yet, here on the YouTube channel, here on the Facebook channel, guys, do that, because sharing is caring at the end of the day. Get into some new news. New news. Carolina Panthers have officially waived defensive back Miles Dorn. He is gone. Say, see you later, alligator. We don't need you anymore. Cleveland Browns have signed defensive back Takarius Keys. I don't know who that is, but I guess they needed Thornhill to, some backup power because, we all know how Thornhill does, Chiefs fans. They also cut guard Dawson Deaton. He has been waived because he has been injured, basically. The Dallas Cowboys signed kicker Brandon Aubrey. Get that kicker, man, because they're going to need a lot of PATs this year. Hell yeah. Indianapolis Colts running back Jonathan Taylor is, quote, all healed up, owner Jim Irsay says Monday on the Pat McAfee show. Jonathan Taylor underwent ankle surgery after missing the final 3 games of the NFL season with a high ankle sprain. That's good news. That is good news for the Indianapolis Colts, as they're going to need that man. They're going to need him to get some bills and to win the AFC South like I have predicted. Linebacker Shaquille Leonard is working hard and has a chance to be ready for the season, according to Jim Irsay, as well, as he said on the Pat McAfee show last Monday. He is getting a little better each day. Leonard played just in 3 games last season and had season-ending back surgery back in November. They need that man back. They need that meat of the front line back, and they're going to do it. They're going to do good things in Indianapolis this season. And also, just to recap from yesterday, Jacksonville Jaguars has signed tight end Josh Pederson, the son of Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson. Signed him on Monday. They also cut Leonard Taylor. He's been waived because he was injured and with a partially guaranteed contract. He was a tight end for Jacksonville Jaguars. Guys, training camps are starting to ramp up here. A little bit of OTAs, rookies. A lot of teams are reporting to rookies sometime this week. Training camp starts next week, and so with that being said, we are going to be breaking down each NFL team moving forward. So about late July, early August, I am going to give you guys my new predictions after watching training camp, watching OTAs, watching scrimmages, and possibly a little bit of preseason games as well. And I'm going to redo my picks for the NFL season, and those will be the picks that I'm sticking with for the all NFL season. Hoffy is also going to give his picks as well. So stay tuned to that. But if you guys are watching us over here on Facebook and you have not subscribed yet, guys, go ahead and subscribe. It is $4.99 a month. You get insider information, not really insider information. You get behind the scenes footage. You get a little bit of this. You get some film breakdown, and you get a part of the free, that's right, free NFL pick'ems that we have each and every week with a chance to win $100 each and every week. But you have to be subscribed over here on the Facebook channel or the YouTube channel. Become a member over there, $4.99 or higher, and get you in that all that good stuff. But guys, it is time to get into some if and then statements of the day. Like I said, guys, if and then is pretty cut and dry. We've been scouring the old interwebs, and I've been seeing these trending topics, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I'm like, hey, if this does happen, then this will happen, right? That is the way it is going to be, and that is how we see things moving forward. So first things first is we're going to start in the NFC West. The Seattle Seahawks, they had a pretty good season in 2022. Geno Smith played out of his mind, and they added some depth. They seen the explosion of Kenneth Walker III, Tyler Lockett kind of took a step back, but hey, that man's old. Give him a break. But DK Metcalf says the Seahawks, and I quote, have a whole arsenal of weapons, which is true. They got DK, they got Tyler Metcalf, they got Kenneth Walker the third, right? So the question is, if Geno Smith plays like an MVP like he did last season, then what? Guys, the sky is the limit for the Seattle Seahawks. This team has an opportunity to run the West. I know all you 49er fans are kind of up in arms. Oh, the 49ers are great. They're great. Who's your damn quarterback? Jimmy G is gone. Trey Lance is unproven. Yes, Brock Purdy did have a solid 8 games or 7 games last season, but he was on a really, really good team. We saw what happened with Colin Kaepernick. Really, really good team, right? Really good first season. The next season, 1-11, right? We will see what happens. I am not predicting the 49ers to have a terrible season as of right now. I mean, I did have them going 8-9, but we'll see what happens. But if Geno Smith plays at an MVP level again, like he did last season, guys, the Seahawks are going to go to the NFC Championship game. If Geno Smith played like he did last season, the Seahawks are going to be freaking amazing. Who is going to stop them? Who is going to legitimately line up with DK Metcalf one-on-one in the NFC? Trayvon Diggs? Give me somebody, Slay. Nobody can physically match up with DK Metcalf when he is on point. Tyler Lockett adds that dynamic. Yes, he is older. Yes, he is slowed down, but he is a nice passive or a possession receiver. He still has a speed. He still has a quickness, right? And then you add Kenneth Walker III into that mix. Watch out, guys. Guys, the Seahawks are going to be a good team. The Seahawks will be, do I dare say it, a great team this year. The Seahawks have the opportunity to really shock the world again. Oh, but DK kind of had a quiet year. Tyler Lockett kind of like, yeah, whatever. Kenneth Walker just exploded because of the great offensive line, whatever, right? Okay. They added Jackson Smith from Ohio State. Another great receiver. They added Zach Kaepernick, UCLA running back as well. They added some depth to the offensive line, and Anthony Bradford from LSU. They added a center from Michigan. I'm not going to try to say his name. Guys, the Seahawks are a loaded team. The Seahawks are a loaded team. We say this from time to time, over and over and over again. A team is a quarterback away. The Seahawks are legitimately a quarterback away, but they got that quarterback. They got Geno Smith. He has been in the system for 4, 5, 6 years, whatever it's been. He came out and had a career year last season. If he can repeat that, Seahawks are going to be A-okay. The Seahawks are going to win the West. The Seahawks are going to make some noise in the playoffs. Watch out. No need to, simmer down now, you hear? It is time to put some stock into the Seattle Seahawks. It is time to jump on that bandwagon. It is time to understand that they still run the West. Put it in a bow, wrap it up, because it is time, baby. Moving on. Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns have had interesting last couple seasons, right? They said, Baker Mayfield, get out of town. We don't need you. We're bringing in DeShawn Watson. DeShawn Watson sat 17 games or whatever it was. He came back last season and kind of looked suspect. A little bit of sus, as those cool kids like to say. He's sus. But do understand this. DeShawn Watson now has had 2 full off seasons with his leading receiver, Amari Cooper. DeShawn Watson expects a tight chemistry with Amari Cooper in his second year with the Cleveland Browns. So this is an MVP kind of theme here, right? If Deshaun Watson plays at an MVP level again like he did in Houston, then what? The Cleveland Browns guys they're a very, very wild card-ish team. We have no idea what we're going to get from the Cleveland Browns. We have no idea what is going to happen with the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson you cannot put stock in Deshaun Watson right now. He hasn't played really a good game in like 7 years, it seems like. But it's been like 3 full seasons since he's really played a full NFL season and had a great game. Now, they do have some pieces around them. They still have Nick Chubb, arguably a top running back in the AFC. Hoffy, take note of that. Now, they did lose, Kareem Hunt. But they picked up Elijah Moore this offseason to add some depth to the receiver corps. They still have Amari Cooper. They still have Donovan People-Jones. They have Najaku, or however you say his tight end's name. They still have David Bell, Marquise Goodwin. This is a loaded, paper-wise, Cleveland Browns team. This is all banking on Deshaun Watson. The whole 2023 NFL season for the Cleveland Browns is banking on Deshaun Watson. So with that being said, if he plays at an MVP level like he did in Houston, give me my pen back. If he does that, the Browns are winning the North. The Browns are winning a playoff game. Are they going to the Super Bowl? Nah, pump those brakes a little bit. Pump those brakes down. Slow it down, baby. But do understand this. They do have a roster on paper to make some noise. They do have a roster on paper that could win 12, 13, 14 games. They do have a roster on paper that could definitely be a Super Bowl favorite. But we are banking on this paper that Deshaun Watson plays in 2020 form, 2019 form. We are banking on paper that Deshaun Watson plays like he did when D-Hop and J.J. Watt and Brandon Cooks and those boys were at the Houston Texans, when they went to Kansas City and they lost that playoff game. We are banking that he plays like that. Does he play like that this season? That is to be determined. But if he plays at an MVP level like he did in 2018, 2019, 2020, the Browns are winning the AFC North. It is what it is. Sorry, Ravens. Sorry, Bengals. Sorry, Steelers. They are better than you guys on paper. I would take this receiver core. No. Can I say that? Can I say that? Can I say that I would take the Cleveland Browns receiver core over the Cincinnati Bengals receiver core? Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, Donovan People-Jones. I would. We got Jim Powell jumping in the chat. He says, "What's up, baby?" What's up, Jim? He says, Watson is still a bigger distraction than he will help. As of right now, Jim, I would have to concur with that because he is still a meme mill, right? He is still that I am going to post on internet just to get laughs with Deshaun Watson. Now, if Deshaun Watson, who do the Cleveland Browns play week 1? Isn't it? The Cleveland Browns play the Cincinnati Bengals week 1. Rivalry game, division game. The Bengals should blow them out of the water, right? Browns are at home. Yada, yada, yada. It's on CBS. If the Bengals lose to the Browns week 1, Deshaun Watson goes for 300 yards, couple touchdowns, maybe rushes for another 40 or 50 yards, doing that improvisation that he does so well. And then they carry on to week number 2 when they travel to Pittsburgh. Monday Night Football, another division game, and start the season off 0-2, and Deshaun Watson has another 250-yard game and shuts those Steelers up and just runs all over them. I think that distraction is now gone. We are now talking like Deshaun Watson is a top 10 quarterback again. We are now talking like Deshaun Watson will be that dude, right? So the whole Deshaun Watson drama, distraction, etc., all banks on the first 2 weeks of this NFL season. If he does well, when I say well, I'm talking at least 250 yards passing, couple rushing, yards, a couple touchdowns, but most importantly, big wins over the Bengals and at the Steelers. The distraction is gone, Jim. Those distractions are now officially gone if that happens. Will it happen? To be determined, obviously. To be determined, we will see, because we still have a long way until September 10th. We still have 2 full months until September 10th, until that happens. Sunday afternoon, 1 p.m., Cleveland Browns versus Cincinnati Bengals. I'll have it on here in the old blue tube in the garage because that's all I get. He is probably pretty tense about it and his performance. Might need a massage to relax. See, that is the distractions that we're talking about, baby. That right there, Jim, is a distraction that we are talking about. Deshaun Watson is still a pun of all these jokes. Ha ha. Ha ha. Moving on. Let's continue in the North. Let's go to the NFC North and the Detroit Lions. #1 Pride Baby. Lions rookie quarterback Hendon Hooker is progressing well from his November ACL tear per sources. So Hendon Hooker was drafted for the Detroit Lions. I think it was the 3rd round or 4th round. I forgot to write it down. But it was kind of a shock to me when we were doing the live NFL draft show that Hendon Hooker was drafted by the Detroit Lions. I thought Jared Goff had a great season. I thought that they were moving forward with Jared Goff. I thought the Lions were officially saying, hey, these are our core guys. We're going to move forward. We're going to add some depth behind the offensive line, some defensive help, maybe bring in a receiver, and then they're like, let's get rid of everybody. We don't need any running backs. Let's draft a quarterback. Let's cut some receivers, and bada bing, bada boom. But we digress from that. Let's talk about Hendon Hooker. Guys, if Hendon Hooker plays in the 2023 NFL season, then what? This has been rattling in the old noggin for a day or two now. We posted this question over there on our Facebook page. If you guys are not following us on Facebook, do so. Facebook.com/Man Hour NFL Talk. I believe that's what it is. It could be sports. I can't remember. But the Detroit Lions, guys, this is a team that I said, and I'm going to stay by it, is they are almost scared to win, I think. The expectations for the Detroit Lions are we are NFC North champions this year. We are going to win a playoff game this year. I actually have them going to the NFC Championship game right now in my preseason predictions. With that being said, look at what they've done this offseason, losing Swift and Williams, both to the Eagles and Saints respectively, drafting a quarterback in the 3rd round, adding some pieces that they really didn't need, drafting a running back in the 1st round. Guys, if Hendon Hooker plays this NFL season in front of Jared Goff, as in the regular season, as in Jared Goff is not hurt, the Detroit Lions are doomed franchise. Jared Goff is the man in Detroit right now. If you want to win 10, 11, 12, possibly 13 games, Jared Goff is your guy. If Hendon Hooker is playing for the Detroit Lions right now, they are tanking for 2024. They are not going to win many games. They are playing bad. Jared Goff has gotten injured. Something catastrophic has happened. Hendon Hooker should not step foot on this field this season. He just tore his ACL in November. right? Yes, that is 9 months. Yes, we all have the Adrian Peterson effect fully in our mind when he came back 100% after 9 months of an ACL tear. But realistically, guys, 1 year. 1 year for an ACL. And then you want to be thrown into NFL, heat of the moment, big 300-pound MFers falling on you. Come on, slow it down, baby. Slow it down, baby. Tim Smith, this is what stupid looks like. Tim, look at my shirt. Haters make us famous, my man. Link in the bio if you want to pick up some merch, Tim. I am the smartest man in the room right now, Tim. I am the smartest man in the room. Look, there's nobody else in here, Tim. It's just me. Jim is in the chat, says he's young, so he'll hopefully the knee healed well. Jim, he is young in our standards, right? He is young in we have 2 kids and a wife and we're 40 and it's hard to get out of bed young, right? But this man's a 25-year-old rookie. In football terms, that's not very young. My body started to fail me about 28 years old. So 25, he has maybe 3 years. And of course, I didn't have any big injuries until I was like 27, 28. So, I mean, like, I'm not trying to wish any ill will on Hendon Hooker whatsoever. I liked him when he was in Tennessee. He beat my wife's Kentucky Wildcats many times. He was really, really good. So hopefully he does heal well. Hopefully, he does have a successful NFL season. I think the Lions messed up by picking him. Tim is in the chat, says he will not play this season. Tim, first things first, Tim, I do agree with you. I think if the Detroit Lions want to have a successful season, he will not play this season. But what if, let's just talk hypothetically here, right? What if the Detroit Lions do start, 0-4, right? They lose to the Chiefs, they lose to the Seahawks, they lose to the Falcons, and they lose to the Packers. Their bye week is week 9. Say they go 500 those next 4 weeks. So they're 2-6 going into their bye week, right? Now, we can talk about 2022, how they were the same way going in their bye week, and they tore off the Band-Aid and won 8 games in a row or whatever, 7 games in a row. But can you bank on that? Can you bank on another late season run? Now, if Hendon Hooker is fully healed, right? Let's say he does have a successful training camp. He has a good couple preseason games. If the Lions are 2-6 or basically less than 4 wins going into the week 9 bye week, I do potentially see a Hendon Hooker playing then. Will he be successful? I don't know. You play the Chargers, the Bears, Packers, Saints, Bears again. He has a pretty tough stretch there. So I do agree that he will not play this season because I think the Lions will be a little bit better than the first nine weeks, but obviously to be determined. James is in the chat. What is up, James? He says Goff could be very well be the best quarterback in that division. Kirk Cousins is overrated and crumbles under the bright lights. So, James, I'm glad you brought this up. I do love me a little bit of Jared Goff. I do think he is, right now, probably the top quarterback in the NFC North. You are right. Kirk Cousins does crumble under those primetime lights. For whatever reason, I don't know. I can't explain it. Probably tonight I'm going to dive into those stats to see if he actually crumbles or if it's people around him that crumble. But I think Jordan Love will be the best quarterback in the NFC North come mid-season, come the end of the year. Jordan Love is going to explode, guys. Look out for Jordan Love. He will be the best quarterback in the NFC North by season's ends. But right now, you do got to give it up to Kirk Cousins or Jared Goff. And I would give the nod to Jared Goff as well. Says Tim. That makes sense. I wish they would have assigned a solid backup. That's my biggest appointment this off season. Tim, let me ask you this question. Are you a Detroit Lions fan? Because I think Hendon Hooker is your solid backup. Now, you also do have that kid from Nebraska from a couple years ago. I think he transferred that Adrian Martinez. Didn't you guys draft him? Oh, shoot. Was it this year that you guys drafted Adrian Martinez? I cannot remember for sure. But Adrian Martinez was at Nebraska, took like a year off, and then came to my Kansas State University. Obviously, he wasn't the starting quarterback. He played him in like a slot type of role type of thing. But he is a pretty good backup as well. And he did sign Nate Studfield or however you say his name. So they do have some depth at the quarterback. So we will see. Moving on, guys. Moving on. Keep the comments coming if you guys have any questions. This is a live interactive show. All right. Arthur Brown. We have to have a discussion, my man. Look deep into my eyes, Arthur Brown. Are you ready for this? If we are talking about the best quarterback in the NFC, which we will be doing, what's today? Wednesday. We'll be doing that Friday. If we're talking about the best quarterback in the NFC, it is not Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is not the best quarterback in the NFC. He is not the best quarterback in the NFL. Jalen Hurts is a overrated, overpaid quarterback product of the system. Now, I understand what you guys are going to say. Gardner Minshew went 1-3 as our starter, yada, 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 in the last 2 years. I get it. Jalen Hurts is a little bit different than Gardner Minshew. Jalen Hurts is not the best quarterback in the NFC. Slow it down, baby. Slow it down, baby. And then he wants to go up the field and Hurts. What are you even talking about? Justin Fields, the top quarterback in the NFL, NFC? He has the potential to be. He has the potential. But he is not. Arthur. Dude. I understand you're a Miami Dolphins fan. You're a little insane in the membrane. Right? But come on. Hurts is top 3 in the NFC. Well, if you want to play that card, I might give you top 3. I might give you top 3. Now, cue all the San Francisco 49ers fans. Bring them in here because they think Brock Purdy is the man. Brock Purdy is God's greatest thing to walk this earth. He's not. He is not. Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the NFC. And then, got a little bit of Jordan Love, baby. Now, I can't say that right now and put it on record, but he will come week 10 or week 11. He'll get that catapult up. You cannot base rankings off of predictions. That's why when these experts, right, put these rookies that like, oh, he's the 5th best running back in the NFL. He's never played an NFL snap. Slow it down. Shut up and get out of town. Right? Hurts is probably a top 3 quarterback in the NFC. He is probably right there with Tua, right? Kind of like neck and neck. Top 5, top 4, possibly 3. If we're talking top 3 NFC, just off the top of my head, I'm going to take Dak Prescott. Give me Dak Prescott 9 out of 10 times twice on Sunday. And then give me a little bit of Jared Goff. Let's not forget about Matthew Stafford. Yes, he had an injury-riddled season last year. But if we're basing off rankings off of, past, Matthew Stafford has to be up there, right? Has to be up there. Derek Carr, now in the NFC, put him up there. Derek Carr transferring from the AFC to the NFC is instantly a top 5 quarterback in the NFC. He is. So my top 3 off the top of my head, I can't give you my top 3. I can't. I got to save it to Friday. Prescott. Tim wrote an essay over there. He says, I've been a sad Lions fan my whole life. I don't want Hooker as a backup. Right now, I want to allow him time to build and get a feel for the NFL. I don't want him get thrown in due to Goff injury. Yes, we did sign him this year, but I have faith in him or Stutterfield. So, sorry you are a sad Lions fan, Tim. We do have Lions merch over at manhourradio.com. It is maybe next year since like 1969. I'm just saying. Jim says, watch Carr. I agree. Derek Carr is going to have a great season. Dak who? Rain, Dakota, Prescott, baby. Very curious to see what Love does. Me as well. Dak Prescott, what you sipping on, baby? A little bit of water. I'm sipping on water today. Ice water. You know, I've never been a fan of ice. Like, you know, I'm like, you know, ice just takes up space in my cup. I want all the soda, all the water I can get. I don't want to go back and forth and keep adding ice and getting all watered down soda. Man, but lately, I've been filling my cup up full of like the nugget ice with a little bit of water. Oh, man. Ooh, get in my belly, baby. Get in my belly. Saquon Barkley. Let's move on. Saquon Barkley says he wants a long-term deal. He has a couple weeks to get a long-term deal figured out with the New York Giants, but he says he's probably not going to sign the franchise tag, and holdout is evident per sources. So with that being said, guys, if Saquon Barkley holds out of the NFL season, then what? First things first, guys, Saquon Barkley is the guy in New York. Yes, Daniel Jones signed the big deal. Yes, you have a good head coach, I guess, right? I mean, he's not terrible. He's a pretty good head coach. Yes, you got Hodgins and Slayton and Paris Campbell and now Darren Waller, right? But Saquon Barkley is that guy. Saquon Barkley, yes, he did only rush for 1,300 yards last season, but he was also a big in the receiving game. Nearly 400 yards receiving last season as well. He said, Daniel Jones, we know you're a middle-of-the-road quarterback. We know you are not a top quarterback in this league right now. I will protect you. Give me the ball. I will open up the passing game for you and make you look like a god, right? I guess 3,200 yards passing is god status. Good God, shut up. I mean, I guess if you're a Lamar Jackson fan, 3,000 yards passing is top tier, baby, right? Top tier. So, guys, if Saquon Barkley sits out the 2023 NFL season, then the Giants will not take the step forward, just like Javi said. The Giants will not win a playoff game. The Giants will probably be not third in the NFC East again. They'll be dead last. They'll be behind the Commanders. They'll be behind the Eagles. They'll be behind the Cowboys. They don't have an easy schedule this year, guys. They play the Cowboys twice. They play the Eagles twice, obviously, and the Commanders. Then they play the 49ers, the Dolphins, the Seahawks, the Buffalo Bills, the Raiders. Raiders could be surprising to some people. The Patriots, the Packers, the Saints. They really don't have a week besides the New York Jets that they're like, man, this is just an easy dub, right? The Giants don't have that in 2023. Saquon Barkley is their workhorse. If he misses the 2023 NFL season, the Giants will be dead last. The Giants will be competing for a first overall draft pick. Now, let's say he comes back week 9, week 8, week 7, misses the first half of the season. Giants are third overall pick, fourth overall pick. It's going to take that man a little bit of time to get into some shape. They're going to run him into the ground, probably going to get his ass injured. Guys, if Saquon Barkley doesn't play for the Giants this season, the Giants are screwed. Sorry, Giants fans. That is just the way it is. You guys need Saquon Barkley. You don't need Daniel Jones. You don't need Higgins. The only thing you need is Saquon Barkley, Darren Waller, and Trey Lance. That is what you need. Oh, man. Jim, back in the chat again. He says, I already forgot about Prescott, like the Cabbage Patch Kids. How can you forget about the best quarterback in the NFC, Jim? How can you forget about the defending or the rookie of the year, the second runner-up comeback player of the year in 2020? How can you forget a man that has never had a losing season in the NFL besides 2020 when he broke his leg 4 games in the year? You cannot forget about Dakota. Jim says, Penn State makes him tough and smart, and he's back. Take the money. Jim, when you say take the money, are you referring to the franchise tag? Do you want Saquon Barkley to sign the $10 million franchise tag this season? Is that what you're referring to? Now, I agree with you. Take the money. I agree with you. Milk it all you can. Milk that cow till you're spitting out dry milk, right? Do what Zeke Elliott did to the Dallas Cowboys. Hey, give me that big deal, and then I'm not going to perform. Like, that's just what it is. Hoffy in the chat. Speaking of being scared, Hoffy's in the chat. Hoffy, stop being so scared, my man. Joe Burrow sucks. You suck. He says Commanders suck nuts. The Commanders suck these nuts. When we look at the Washington Commanders football team, Redskins, whatever you would like to call them, they don't suck. They're in a rebuilding mode. Did you forget, Hoffy, that the Commanders now have Jacoby Brissett and Jake Fromm and Sam Howell? Brian Robertson Jr., Scary Terry? Yeah, that doesn't really scare me either. Now, I do like me some Jacoby Brissett. I think if Jacoby Brissett would have stayed in Indianapolis, we might be talking a little bit of, dynasty, possibly a Super Bowl. But they're like, we want Carson Wentz. We're just gonna. Nah. Patriots are shit. Giants Super Bowl champs. Oh my Lord. This guy. Hoffy talks a mean game behind the computer screen, but when he's on air, the Giants want Dalvin Cook. Give me Dalvin Cook instead of Saquon Barkley. Rah, 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 rah. Haters make us famous, baby. Merchant link. Jim says, if we take the tag off of Jacobs, every team in the league will be knocking. So, guys, Jim is a Raiders fan, and Josh Jacobs has been tagged as well. He has not signed it. He is looking for a long-term deal as well. I was actually going to talk about him tomorrow, but let's go ahead and dive into it, Jim. Running backs are a dime a dozen. You really only have that special guy once every 5-6 years, right? Saquon Barkley and Zeke are those special guys right now. I would say CMC is a dime a dozen. I think speaking of overrated players, I think CMC is kind of an overrated player. It is what it is. Now, Josh Jacobs did have an excellent season last year. What was his stats? Did he break 1,500 yards last season? Correct. Let me look it up. He had 1,600 yards last season. So, yeah, I mean, he definitely – I think he led the league in rushing, if I'm not mistaken. But running backs, shelf life is short. Running back shelf life is about 5-6 years. So, with that being said, he is, 5th year in the league? Why do I want to sign? If I'm the Raiders, why do I want to sign him? Are the Raiders going to make a Super Bowl run this season with Jimmy G and Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs? I don't really see it. Now, they might be successful. Jimmy G is a winner. You put Jimmy G on a team, they're going to win a lot of games. However, Josh McDaniels is trying to be Patriots 2.0, and we've seen it in the past where it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Be yourself, Josh McDaniels. And will Josh Jacobs be a high sought-out running back? Possibly. What teams out there right now need a running back? You can say the New York Giants need a running back, right? But when you look at it, who out there needs a running back? The teams out there that could possibly need a running back, they have a 2-back system, which that is the way of the NFL. Dallas Cowboys have Deuce Vaughn and Tony Pollard. Zeke Elliott is rumored to be coming back as well, right? I guess you could go the Eagles. DeAndre Swift won't pick up what Miles Sanders left out there, but I don't think they can afford something just like that. So Josh Jacobs is a very good running back. He's just not going to be sought out if the Raiders let him go. And correct me if I'm wrong, but once a team says we're going to tag said player, I don't think they can renege that. Because tags have to be set before April, before the draft. The tags have to be set. Hey, we're going to tag this player, we're going to tag this player, and then we're going to release this player, right? So if they were to renege that tag, they bit themselves in the ass by letting somebody else walk, right? James in here. James is dropping some fire today. James are the only dark horse team that is going to exceed expectations. James says that James are the only dark horse team that's going to exceed expectations. I think any team in the NFC South that wins the South is going to exceed expectation, James. Now, I have the Panthers winning the South right now. I think the Panthers are going to shock a lot of people this season. The Saints are going to be right there. They're both going to be 11, 12 win teams. They're both going to be right there, right? Actually, there are a lot of teams out there, a lot of experts, let's use that term very, very loosely, experts, that think the Saints are a Super Bowl caliber team. They think the Saints are going to win the South. They think the Saints are going to go to the NFC Championship game with Derek Carr and Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara, Cam Jordan, right? They do have a pretty good team established over there. They may have been a quarterback away. To be determined, but I do like where you're going. I do love me some Saints this year as well. Shout out to my man Ruben Roy, the best nose guard out there, baby. This man kept me so clean for many, many games. All those fights, bucket, get back here. We don't need to be doing that. They're going to win it. Go away. They're going to win it going away. Going away where? They're not going to the Super Bowl. James, if you think the Saints are going to the Super Bowl, man, you are high as a kite, man. That is what all you people here on Facebook.com/manhour. If you don't agree with me, you're like, you're on drugs. Never done drugs before a day in my life. Never done the old swacky tobacco or snorted the white powder or the Colombian baking soda, whatever. I don't even know the slang words. I'm high on life all the time though. Guys, it is time to wrap up the show. It's been a great hour. Hafi decided to be scared, but tomorrow we are going to give you guys the AFC best at each position: the quarterbacks, running backs, receiver core, tight end, and then coaching as well. Should we throw some teams in there? The best team in the AFC? Yeah, we'll throw the best team in there as well. Might throw in some defense as well. You never know. This is Michael Buckheister with the Man Hour, manhourradio.com, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Man Hour Nation, rise up.